From working as a server at Texas Roadhouse, to cold calling trying to sell newspapers, to working in 100-degree weather outside in construction, I know what it's like to literally be at zero. And after making millions of dollars in the stock market, I can confidently say that even if I lost it all today, my account, the cars, the watches, I'd be able to pick myself up again because I've done it before. In this video, I want to give you a step-by-step roadmap of what I would do if I had to restart my trading career from scratch. First, we need to talk about what it's going to take to build your account and the foundation that you need to become a profitable trader. You need money somehow, and you are never too good for a job. I'm going to be honest, one of the first things that I tell anyone who asks me what it takes to become a profitable trader and to become a full-time trader is that you don't want trading to be your only income. And to get that income, because right now we're at zero, we have to find a job, we have to find a skill that we can make money at, and within that skill, we have to make sure that we can take the time to dedicate to our education and to our craft as traders. Now, a few of the jobs that I worked when I was learning how to trade. I was a server at Texas Roadhouse because I could work in the evenings. I was a delivery driver at Jimmy John's, so I could start midday after watching the morning session. And even at one point when I was first dabbling in the stock market, I was working HVAC in 100-degree weather, and every day at market open, I would check where the market was at. I would spend as much time as I could watching the market on my phone while moving heavy sheet metal. That didn't last very long, but I got the reps in when I could at that phase of my life and transitioned into a job that I could work in the evenings and focus my mornings on my trading. Now, let me be clear. I understand that everyone wants to be a full-time trader. Nobody wants to go through the shitty jobs, through the long hours, through the low pay. Before we go forward, you have to know this is likely going to be one of the most important parts of this video, so be sure you have a notepad, you have your notes open, and you write this down because this is where most people mess up. You cannot have a mindset that you're just gonna quit your job, you're gonna quit everything else that you're doing and go all in on trading. Yes, I want you all in from an effort perspective, but I don't want you all in from a quitting everything else perspective. You have to leverage risk to make money. You can't cut out all of your other streams of income. You can't cut out all of your other skills. Even when you become profitable, which is the goal for all of us here, I want you to realize that trading should never be your only stream of income. Because as a developing trader, say that you have a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, you don't want to have to rely on that money to feed your dog, to take care of your family, and to live everyday life. The way I look at trading is as a supplemental income to eventually being a full-time income, and ideally our number one income with other supplemental incomes around it. But in the case that you go through a slump, that life comes at you and you can't trade as much as you'd like, you have to have other streams of income to not only supplement your trading, but also to take the pressure off yourself to perform. Because as traders, we are performance-based, we get paid for our performance, and that is our job to limit the emotions as much as possible and focus on principle and performance. And something else worth mentioning, we don't get paid in trading from our time on the screens. We get paid from staying patient and waiting for opportunity. You cannot have the mindset getting back into this and building from zero that you're just gonna come in, take a bunch of trades, and make a bunch of money. Instead, choose the mindset. You're gonna come in, stay patient, protect the downside, manage your risk, and focus on principle over profits. Once you let go of the money side and you focus on the principle side, on the risk management side, on the system side, that's when things really start to grow and compound, and that's where you make and keep money. Now that we all understand what it takes to build that foundation, the right mindset going into this, we have to understand what it takes to build a small account, the strategy behind it, and some of the psychological tips that hinder traders from taking that step from here up to here in their small account. Many new traders or up-and-coming traders ask me, they say, what do you do when you get that first lump sum of money or funding on your account? And the first thing that I tell them, and I will tell you, protect it. If you make $2,000 or $5,000, withdraw a majority of that right away, especially if it's a trade that you got lucky, that you didn't follow your plan on, or that came easy. One of the worst things that can happen to traders is making a lot of money right away. You might not like this, but I will tell you, I hope that you don't make a lot of money right away for your own sake. We referenced back in 2020 and 2021 with AMC, GameStop, and all the meme stocks. You probably know someone, and maybe it's you, that made $5,000, $10,000, $50,000. And what happened to most of those people when they didn't learn how to trade on proper principle, proper system, proper risk management? They lost it. And I don't want to see that happen to you. So here's what we do. You make your money the right way. You make that $5,000, you fund your account with $5,000. That was my first ever account, my first ever real account that I funded, is that $5,000 mark. And you define your risk parameters. What's your skill level? How much can you afford to lose? For you, if you come into $5,000, I would say keep 1,000 in your account, withdraw the other 4, and focus on building that 1,000. It's not going to come easy. Your goal with a small account is not solely to make money. It's to learn, it's to build your foundation, and it's to understand what it takes and how to manage that small amount so when you're trading with that bigger amount, you don't lose it. There's a common misconception in trading that if you have more money, you're gonna become a better trader. But I will tell you this from experience and seeing thousands, tens of thousands of students make this mistake. If you can't manage $1,000, cannot manage 100,000. And on the contrary, you're actually likely going to manage 1,000 better than you'll manage 100,000 because of all the emotions and all the risk that comes with trading with a bigger account. Some of you guys may have $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000, whatever it may be. The number is irrelevant. But if you have a lot of money, you should not put that all into your trading account. Especially as a beginner and someone starting from zero, you put into your trading account what you can afford to lose and learn with, what you can afford to make mistakes with, build from, and focus on a solid system with. As traders building from zero, it's imperative we understand that foundation, and it's even more imperative that we understand what it's going to take and the psychology required to build that small account and keep a long-term sustainable mindset. Now to the trading part of what I'm talking about. As traders, we don't want to be trading 10, 20, 30 stocks. Every single stock or ETF in the market has a personality, and I want you to get to know them. My personal philosophy is you stick to less than 5 stocks to trade. You get your basket of stocks, you learn them like the back of your hand, you focus on them every single day, and you get confident watching those 5 names. For me, I like trading SPY. You can also trade ES if you're into futures. Everything I'm saying is completely applicable to both of those. I like trading QQQ. I like trading Tesla, though Tesla is not a beginner-friendly stock to trade. I recommend Apple to beginners or a cheaper name like AMD with reasonably priced premiums on the option contract. Speaking of options, that's our next topic, and that is how we are going to scale our accounts as starting from zero traders. I want to also say, if you are a futures trader, everything I'm going to say is applicable. Now, obviously, with options, as I'm about to explain, the percentage returns are much higher. With all the strategies, with everything I talk about with risk management, it is the same thing when you're trading NQ, ES, or the micros for both of those. With less than $10,000, it is very hard to scale your account just trading stocks. Even trading SPY, at this moment, you're only gonna be able to trade or buy about 20 shares. With options, there's a very real possibility. Let me just say this, there's a lot of risk involved with options, so you have to be very careful. There's a very real possibility of you making 5, 10, 15, 20, 30% off that in a single day. Now let's hold our horses here. I'm not saying that you're gonna come in, use $10,000 and make 30% a day. That is not realistic, and I would never tell you that because it would be lying. It would be misleading. But the possibility is there for those percentages if you master your system, if you follow your risk management, and if you build the proper principle it's gonna take to learn and trade options profitably. Options can help you scale much faster if you know what position size is appropriate and you aren't completely YOLOing or gambling. And for reference, I made you a guide to position sizing according to your account size, so you can look back on this, you can apply it to your own account, and so you have a guide of where to start so you're not going too large or too small. I went ahead and put it in the video right here, but I'll also put it in a link for you down below. We're in a good spot, my friends. We've built the foundation, we understand what it's gonna take to build a small account, and we know how to size our positions. Next is gonna be scaling that account and how to manage risk over time. A key phrase that I remember, I tell myself every single day, and I've told thousands of my students, is we are not professional traders. We are professional risk managers, and we are professional losers. The best loser wins in this game. Now, most traders get excited and want to start scaling aggressively. They want to go fast. They saw the guy on Instagram or YouTube make 50,000 in a day, and they want to make 50,000 in a day. It does not work like that. Coming from someone, again, who has proven to you guys with live logins of over $2 million in trading profits in the last few years, I will tell you that money does not come fast. I've been at this for 8 years. So hear me when I say you have to have a scaling plan and you have to prioritize risk management over everything else. My advice to you, at least every other week, at a minimum, withdraw profits if you have them, even if it's $5, even if it's $20. The point is I want you to get accustomed to paying yourself, following a plan, and getting rewarded for that plan. I also don't want you getting in the habit of the scaling habit of making a few trades and say you lose money. If you lost that money on good principle, if you lost that money following your plan, that is okay. A losing trade does not mean it was a bad trade. Let's clear that up. But what I don't want you to do is be losing, taking bad trades and rationalizing it with learning. Learning is not making the same mistakes over and over again. You will never be able to scale your account and manage risk if you're losing over and over again in the name of learning, but not trading to a proper principle. That's extremely important to remember, and a mindset that, quite frankly, could increase the profitability rate of traders massively. And again, this is where most people screw up. They get overconfident and reset to $0 with a few impulsive trades. Cannot let that happen for our bank accounts, for our trading accounts, and most importantly, for our mindset in here. And what's even more painful and hard to swallow is blowing your account when you could have just followed your rules, managed your risks, and avoided that completely. And as far as scaling goes, you have your risk management down. You're not making dumb mistakes. You need to have an actual scaling plan. For me, I didn't do things 100% right. I started with around $5,000. I'd make 5,000, lose 4 of it. Make 3,000, lose all 3 of it. Make 6,000, lose 4. So I was making money and I was losing less, but I was still losing more than I should have. During this time, I was also adding money that I was making on the outside from working and hustling. Because at the time, my mindset, which I don't want you to follow, was at $5,000, I wanted to get to $25,000 to avoid the PDT rule. At $25,000, I wanted to get to $100,000, which I did. I got to that point and much farther, but my mindset towards the money was not right. So as part of your scaling plan, I do not want you focusing on the money, because had I focused on my principal completely and just made the money irrelevant, I probably would have gotten to 100,000 much faster. So build your scaling plan, make it a principal focused plan, make it a percentage focused plan, pay yourself, trade the right way, and you will scale much faster and lose less over time. We're starting from zero, so it makes sense to talk about funding. Should you take out a loan to become a trader? Absolutely not. That is probably the worst thing that you can do for yourself as a trader, and something I would never recommend anybody in their right mind to do. You should never trade with money that is not yours. You should never trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Second, that leads us to the discussion. Should you become a funded trader on a prop firm? Yes and no. There is a very select number of prop firms that have traders' best interests at heart, that have fair rules and follow the right practices. They exist, but it's very few. I have never in my life put my name behind a prop firm, but if I do, I've been looking, researching, it will be one that will put traders' best interests at heart. I think prop firms, in hindsight, can be really good for traders. A trader doesn't have much money, but they have a lot of skill. If you go past all the rules, you can become a funded trader and get payouts. Pretty simple. The problem is many of these prop firms own their own brokerages. They make the rules very hard to follow, and they don't follow their payouts as they should. I will never stand behind that, never have, never will. But when you find one, so I'm not sure there's even one completely in existence right now I would get behind, as I never have, that has your best interest at heart, I think the general idea of it is great for traders. Now, next topic, margin trading. Should you trade on margin? Well, no regulated broker is going to let you trade options on margin. I have yet to find them. And quite frankly, I don't think you should be trading anything on margin, especially as a trader that has less than 1, 2, or 3 years of experience. I have 8 years of experience and I still don't trade on margin. I trade what I have, I trade what I can afford to lose, and I think of it as my working capital. See, I think of my trading as a business. I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my bills. Those are my losses. But I'm gonna use my cash to make more money, and I don't need to borrow from anybody else. I have my working capital, I respect it, I manage it, and I put it to work for me. So if you get a margin account, do not think it is in your best interest to trade on margin, because it is much easier to get stopped out and to get over leveraged out and to end up blowing your account. All right, my friends, we are on the final leg of our journey to becoming a profitable trader from zero. But what I'm about to tell you is where most traders blow it without even knowing. They get impatient. They get FOMO from social media. They start doing the dreaded C word that we call comparison. One of the biggest flaws in our industry is traders go, they hop on social media and see trader A, B, and C making $10,000, $20,000, and $30,000 in a day, most of the time, which is not real, and they think that they need to be there today. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The real traders you see online that you look up to have been at this for years. It is time to stop comparing your day 1 to their day 100. It is time to focus on small improvements every day, winning the daily battles to win the overall success war in the long term. It is critical to keep an honest and long-term perspective on this. You are not going to get rich quick off trading. And if you do get rich quick off trading, you're gonna lose it if you stick with those principles. This is a long game. This is an in my own pace, in my own lane, and in my own journey game. And this is something that we have to work at every single day. You will always be a student of the game. And as far as your aha moment, you know, traders look on social media and they see trader A, B, and C making this money and they want that aha moment for it to become easy. It is never going to become easy, but it will become easier. You'll get more confident. You'll have conviction pressing that buy button. You'll be able to identify your risk on every trade. And when you can do those little things, that is where progress starts to come. It is critical to remember, the more you compare your journey to the next trader's journey, it is not only going to leave you discouraged and losing more money, but it's going to negatively affect all of your short-term emotional decision making. And as traders, we have to be on our mental A game every single day to make and keep money. And there you have it, my friends, the blueprint to becoming a profitable trader from zero. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to hear the full story of how I went from broke to millionaire, you can check that out right here on my channel. I've got a lot more education on the way, so stay tuned, because I'm on a mission to give out everything you need to succeed with trading for 100% free. Thank you guys for watching. watching. Team Bull forever, and I'll see you in the next video.